Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Joy with Intention, the podcast. I'm your host Joy. In case you don't know me, I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank you so much for returning. Today we'll be talking about overcoming the fear of being seen, overcoming perception anxiety. I feel like this is a really key topic to talk about, and it is very prevalent for many of us in our own lives, and it can affect us in ways that maybe we don't even realize. So I feel like, this would be a really good topic to talk about, and it's something that I've dealt with a lot in my own life, and I still do deal with. So I wanted to talk about it with you guys. I hope you guys have all had a lovely week so far. I hope you're all ready for another week. This has been quite a spontaneous episode, because usually obviously I do upload every Sunday, but it has become a bit harder to get episodes out there, because I really do want to get video episodes out there for you guys, because I know some of you guys have said, it's a lot easier, like you're more likely to watch a video when you can see someone like being interactive than listening. So I'm really trying to implement that a lot more, but it's a bit hard, because recording video does take a lot longer, but I still love doing it. I still love doing the podcast. So I'm back, and that's all that matters. I'm really happy to be here again, another week. I feel so blessed. I'm just so ready to get into today's episode. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and let's get straight into the episode. But I say let's just get into today's episode. By the way, you guys, if I do end up looking over here, for those who are watching, I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. I'm just looking over at my notes, because tend to have a lot of thoughts going on all at once, but having like notes somewhere, it just helps the episode stay quite well structured and helps them go with a good flow. Today will be pretty much like a pep talk, not only for you guys, but for me as well, because this is a topic that I do struggle with still, and I've been learning a lot about it. I've been seeking stuff online and actively trying to be proactive on how I can get better at this, because I feel like a lot of people do struggle with this, and it does have an effect in a lot of people's lives, but we don't have to allow it to control our lives. And I just basically want to talk about that today. So I've written some headings and I've put some text under, so I'm just going to go as I usually do in all of the episodes. I just read the headings, read the text, and then I elaborate my own thoughts. Usually I use other people's posts or something, and I just like take it from theirs, and then I say like my own kind of stuff, but today I've used my own stuff. So today we're going to be talking about like the fear of being perceived and overcoming, like the fear of being seen and overcoming perception anxiety. Also, really quick topic, off topic, actually not too off topic, but one of my friends, Latoya Likambi, she did a video on this. Actually, I'll need to find it. If I can find it, I'll link it down below for you guys so you can go watch it, because it really, this is also the thing with having people around you that inspire you. The company that you keep matters so much, because of people like Latoya and loads of other friends that I have in my life. Like literally, this podcast would have not started if it wasn't for my friends encouraging me and for them telling me just go at it, just do it. Like, because especially I used to get into my head so much, and I'd be like, but wait, what if people think I'm weird? What if they start making fun of me? What if it doesn't work out? And I just keep saying what if, but then they were like telling me, okay, and what? You're still young, like what do you actually have to lose? Like, okay, you do it, okay, it doesn't do so well, but at least you're doing something that you love, and you're making an impact in the world with what you have, what little you have, and you're doing what you can, and you're giving it 100%. Because even I remember one of my youth leaders, he said, I think it was at the start of summer school, I think last year, and he said, because obviously summer school is like a week, and he said, if you give 100%, you will get 100% back, or you will get at least something back. If you give 0% and you give nothing, you will get nothing back. So that's what I'm saying. If you've got that dream, if you've got that thought, that business plan, whatever it is that's planted in your heart right now, go at it full steam ahead and give it everything you've got, because you will only get back what you give. You will only reap what you sow, and you will only bear the fruit of what you invest in. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there as well. That's what I'm doing right now. It's scary. It's not always going to be comfortable. I've really had to step out of my comfort zone just doing this podcast, just sitting here every single Sunday, sitting here, coming here and recording and putting an episode out for you guys, and now even recording video. That's taken me a lot of courage, and it's taken me to step out of my comfort zone, and I've had to sometimes tell myself, like, okay, girl, what are you actually losing? What you're losing? And even I was speaking to one of my friends about this, and she was saying, like, we were just sitting there over coffee, and she was like, you're doing this podcast, there are going to be people who are impacted by what you're doing, they're inspired by what you're doing, and they'll never tell you. Maybe they will never tell you. I think so far I've only had a few people tell me, and it's not even been that many, but I may not even see loads of numbers on the podcast. I may not see the numbers skyrocketing all of the time. I may not see that many rates or reviews or likes or comments or subscribes, but I have to remember why I'm doing this. And this also does apply to you guys and whatever you're doing. I had to remember, why am I doing this podcast? Am I doing this just so I can get loads of numbers and loads of views and I can get really big? I'm not gonna lie, I don't even want to be famous. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I always have to remember, I started this podcast because I know that God has blessed me with the voice that can reach out to people, because I know from speaking with loads of people in my own life, I know there are loads of people that do go through loads of things, and maybe they just need a bit more light in their own life, or maybe they just need a bit more positivity, or they maybe just need a bit more hope. And sometimes I'll be talking to them, and I'm like, what, I really wish there was, like, or maybe we just even need like a safe space on the internet just in itself. And I was like, what? If I can't find that space on the internet, I'm going to create it. I'm going to be proactive, and I'm going to stop complaining about it, that I can't find a safe space on the internet and a lovely space on the internet where I actually open social media and I actually find something that's uplifting, and I find something that's encouraging, and I find something that's going to make me smile and it's going to make my day. And I don't go on social media and I just feel down about myself, or I just start going down a whole pit and a whole spiral of self-comparison. I actually go onto the internet and I feel inspired and encouraged, and I just feel uplifted. I'm like, what? Maybe I'm not having the best day, or maybe I'm not in the best mood, or maybe I'm not feeling the best. But then I open my Instagram, I open whatever social media I'm on, and then I see something. I'm like, what? That's really uplifted me. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this after all. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Whatever dream it is you have on your heart, do it. Because regardless of whether people do congratulate you or applaud you or clap for you or not, you've still got to do it, and you've got to clap for yourself, because again, you will never know what kind of impact you're having out there. You will never know who you're touching and who you're inspiring and who you're impressing. You will never know. Some of these people will never tell you, but you've still got to keep going, because your voice does matter, and you, as long as you're still alive, you're here for a reason, or you are here for a purpose, and you matter. Okay, just because no one's told you that doesn't mean that it's not true, and doesn't mean that it's not a fact. You matter. The fact that you're still here and you're alive and you are breathing, it means that you are here for a reason and you have a purpose. Maybe you've not unlocked that purpose just yet, that's fine, but you can, especially with Jesus, he will help you find out what that purpose is and uncover that. So yeah, that was like so off topic, but let me get into the headings of what I have prepared for you guys today. I put, heading, the fear of being perceived, and I said, many people struggle with the fear of how others perceive them. This anxiety can be paralyzing, preventing individuals from pursuing their goals and living authentically. Then the next heading I put, self-imposed limitations. That's heading number 1. And I said, often we are our own worst enemies. We create imaginary scenarios about how others might judge us, which can prevent us from taking action. These self imposed limitations are frequently based on unfounded fears rather than reality. And I don't know if I'll probably end up repeating myself today or going back to this, but I just really want to touch on this. Sometimes we'll have things in our minds, we'll create imaginary scenarios, and then we'll even go, oh, sorry. By the way, if the camera does start shaking, guys, sorry, my setup is a bit chaotic right now. So I might have a bit of shakiness every now and then, but just don't mind it. We'll just keep it pushing. That's just for the ones who are watching, but if you're listening, let's just keep it pushing. um, but yeah, sometimes we can literally be our own worst enemies. Sometimes we can tend to start hating ourselves or start allowing ourselves to go down spirals and start believing thoughts that aren't even true. But we've got to remember, I've seen this quote so many times, and I think it's probably because I needed to hear it as well. You know, just because you've got a thought in your mind doesn't mean that it is true. Because, okay, a thought can just sprout into your mind like that, and now you've already decided, okay, it's true, it's a fact. I'm so sorry. How does that grant it validity? It doesn't. Just because a thought has come into your mind and maybe it's telling you, okay, I can't do this. Okay, I'm ugly. That doesn't mean that it's true, because you can do this. You are not, you could, realistically, thoughts, they're just because we're humans, we're wavering, you know, we're always changing, we're not set in stone, we're indecisive, you know. So even like our thoughts, they're not always going to be absolutely based on pure fact and truth. And even then, all our thoughts, when you think about it, they're kind of like opinions, and opinions are not known as facts. There's opinions and there's facts. So opinions don't always have validity. So you can't immediately see a thought in your mind and think, okay, this is true. Oh my gosh. And then allow yourself to start spiraling. And this is literally me speaking to myself as well, because I struggle with this so much. I literally have one thought in my mind and I'm like, wait, what if I can't do this? Oh my gosh, but I've never not been able to do that before, so maybe I can't do this. And then I allow myself to start spiraling and I take myself down a really unhealthy path. And then after, because as I've said in previous episodes, it's a thought cycle. Your thoughts do start to affect your feelings, and then your feelings start to affect your emotions, and then your emotions start to affect how you act and how you treat other people and how you treat yourself. And then it all has a really big impact, it all has a really big effect. And what we allow ourselves to believe is really important, because once you start to allow something to become part of your belief system, it starts to affect and influence who you are, and start to influence your character. So like, okay, if you start to think, oh yeah, I'm ugly, oh my gosh, I'm helpless, oh my gosh, I'm useless, I can't do this, you're gonna now start becoming a really dejected person. You're gonna start walking around with this hopeless attitude and this hopeless mindset, like, okay, I can't do this. Maybe everything that comes to you in your life, you're gonna start thinking, maybe I can't do this. You're not gonna, when you look at an obstacle, you're not going to look at it and think, okay, maybe actually have a chance at overcoming this. Maybe I can actually do this. Maybe I can overcome this obstacle. Maybe I will finish it and they will not finish me. You know, especially if you're in school right now, or like you're in education, you know, sometimes have you heard that thing? Like, it's like, am I finishing school or will school finish me? And that's like the thing. But it's like, when you allow yourself to have mentality like, yeah, I can do this, I will overcome this, when you have even at least a half cup full mentality, it doesn't mean that you're always gonna be absolutely like, whoa, let's do this, yeah, I can do this, whoa, like that kind of toxic positivity. No, we're humans, guys. We're not always gonna feel amazing, we're not always gonna feel like absolutely like, yeah, let's do this, yeah, you're not always gonna feel like that, and that is okay. We're humans for a reason. We're obviously going to have negative thoughts. We're not always going to feel our best. We're going to have bad days. But then even then, we've got to remember that a bad day doesn't equal a bad life. A bad day is just 24 hours. And even for half those 24 hours, you're asleep. For half those 24 hours, you're doing other things, you know. And you can always change it around. Like, I always remember this quote, and I remember I was talking to one of my friends about this because I saw this quote and it was like, you can literally decide to change right now. You can decide to go through a new change right now, right this minute. You can decide. Maybe you've been bed rotting the whole day. Maybe you've been on a bed rot, on a TikTok doom scroll or whatever for hours, and now it's like 6 p.m. and you don't know what to do. You're like, oh, it's too late in the day, can't do anything. No, you can decide, you know what, right now, I'm going to have a fresh start. You know what, right now, I'm going to wipe a clean slate and I'm going to start again. I'm going to get myself up and I'm going to start, because I used to do this for so long and it was so bad. I used to sit there and I would basically sit there and bed drop for a whole day. And then I'd be like, you know what, I know I'm supposed to do some of my schoolwork. I know I'm supposed to catch up on some of the work I was supposed to do. Maybe there was some stuff for the podcast I was supposed to catch up on. Maybe there was some schoolwork I was supposed to catch up on. But I'm like, and maybe I'm leaving the house at 7:30 and it's 6 o'clock and I've not done anything. You know what? There's not enough time. But then I started to realize, guys, there is power in time. There is power in time. Because especially if you go and look at your screen time right now and then go look at the categories in which you spent most of that screen time. Imagine if you deleted all of those social medias or whatever is keeping you and using all of your time. Now imagine if you deleted them, or you just instead substituted the time you were spending on them for the time that you knew you could have been investing into yourself. Imagine if you substituted it, and maybe, especially if you break it into chunks, maybe it could have even been an hour, maybe it could have been 30 minutes, maybe it could have been 25 minutes, whatever. But every minute does matter, and just because you don't have to force yourself to get everything done all within one go or all within one try. You don't. I used to do that to myself so much, and I sometimes still do that, and I know it's such a toxic mentality to have, and I have to keep like correcting myself and telling myself, it's okay, you can be kind to yourself. Sometimes we can be so overly self-critical and so unkind to ourselves that we forget that, oh yeah, I'm actually human. Guys, we're all doing life for the first time. It's not going to go perfect. It's not going to go how we expect it or anticipate to go all the time. But that is life. You've got to you're going to fall down, but you've got to keep picking yourself up and keep going, because life is a journey, okay? Life is a journey, and not all journeys are easy. Not all journeys. Sometimes you have to make pit stops. Sometimes you have setbacks. Sometimes you end up going a bit faster than you anticipated, and you're like, okay, let's do this. Sometimes you end up going a bit slower than you anticipated to, but even then, you've still got to keep going, So, yeah, because even like, right, me and some of my friends, we posted like a singing video on Instagram Reels, and it actually blew up quite a bit. We didn't expect it to, but I feel like I was really starting to become really overly self-critical about myself, about it. And I think I was like telling my brother, I was like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of ruined the video. Like, I don't like the way I sound on it and stuff. But he was like, but Joy, yours is the best bit. Yours is the bit that everyone was telling me they loved the most. And I was like, oh. And he was like, see, I think this is just you being really overly self-critical. And that's something that me and him have realized, okay, we need to work on. We need to work on being a lot more kinder to ourselves and giving ourselves a bit more of a break and cutting ourselves some more slack. Because yeah, we are doing life for the first time, and in everything there is always room to improve. It'll be different if we were, as humans, we were all perfect creatures and we could do things one time and we could never do it ever again, and that'll be it. And if you've done it wrong the first time, oh, that's it. You can't go back. You can't improve. That's as far as you can go. But that's not what humans are. We're creatures that, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I keep referring to us as creatures. But that's what we are, though, right? But we're beings that, we're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect. And we're always going to make mistakes. But the amazing thing is that we always get to practice and become better at what we get to do. So maybe even if there's people that are underestimating you, or maybe they're looking past you and they're not seeing the potential that you have and what you have to give, who cares? you still keep clapping for you, and you still keep going, because at the end of the day, no one knows how much work you're putting in apart from you. And no one knows how much you're grinding apart from you. And you will eventually reap what you have sown. It may take a few days, it may take a few weeks, it may take a few months, maybe even a few years. But either way, you will start to reap the fruits that you have sowed, and it will be so worth it. So, trust the process, keep going, keep investing in yourself, and keep being kind to yourself as well. I keep rambling, but I'm honestly so here for it. But yeah, let me move on to the next heading. The desire to please everyone. That's heading number 2. And I put, it's natural to want approval, but trying to please everyone is an impossible task. Accepting that not everyone will like or agree with you is a crucial step in overcoming the fear of being seen. And then in the next heading, I wanted to say, fear of others' opinions. That's heading 3. And I said, the anxiety of others forming opinions about you and your actions can be overwhelming. Remember that people will form opinions regardless, and it's more important to be true to yourself than try to control each other's thoughts. That is so true, because we can't please everybody. We can't always be on everyone's good side. We can't always impress everybody. There's even people that maybe haven't impressed you, or you're not too, oh sorry, I've just shaken the camera again. But we'll just keep it pushing. you know um there's even, you're not gonna rock with everyone, you're not gonna be cool with everyone, you're not gonna like everyone, and that is okay. That's normal, that is part of life. But I feel like we've also got to cut ourselves some slack as well, because realistically, everyone is different, everyone is wired differently. Just because this person can work that way doesn't mean that you can. And if you're gonna allow the fact that you can't work like that other person, or you can't function like other people, stop you from doing what you've always wanted to do, then that's not right, and that's not kind to yourself either. You know what I mean? And realistically, people are always going to have thoughts and opinions about you. They're always going to have things to say about everyone, has things to say about everyone, and sometimes it's projection. You can't control that, you can't change that. People are going to think what they think, they're going to say what they say, they're going to believe what they believe, and you can't do anything about it. But now it's like, either way, if it's happening, or you have two choices. You can either allow it to absolutely destroy you and deteriorate your mental health and really allow yourself to spiral and spiral and spiral, or you can just say, you know what, I can't change anything about it. It is what it is. I'm gonna keep moving, because realistically, the only opinion that matters about you is God's opinion of you. No one else's opinion of you is any of your business, because especially those thoughts are in their mind for a reason, and sometimes they're not even the full picture of you. When you think about it, there are so many people who will have different perceptions of you according to their own life or their own background or upbringing or whatever. People will have loads of different perceptions of you, and people will think of you what they want to think of you, and you cannot change that. And when you look at God's opinion of you, he only calls you beautiful things, things that will uplift you, things that will encourage you and inspire you. He says that you are his. He says that you are chosen, you are redeemed, you have purpose, you have potential. You are chosen, you are saved. He tells you all these things in his word. He says all of these promises, and he says that he loves you. He loves you so much that he died for you. He loves you so much. And that, honestly, I've even seen this quote so many times, like, don't let the opinion of someone who didn't die for you overpower the opinion of someone who did. I'm gonna let that sit with you guys, because I had to let that sit with me. I would so often let other people's opinions kind of allow myself, I'd allow it to sway my identity, and I'd allow them to speak into my identity and into who I am and who I believe I am. But I had to be like, wait, So if God's telling me one thing and you're telling me another thing, and then my mind's telling me another, who's 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 saying the truth here? And you've also got to realize the enemy, he is he's always trying to plant lies into our minds and discourage us and take us down. But so all not all of the thoughts in your mind will even be from you. Sometimes they're from the enemy, and sometimes that's just him trying to get into your mind and take you down, and really trying to make you believe that you're not enough, or you don't have enough potential to fulfill God's plan in your life, or maybe you're not enough, or maybe you're not worthy enough, or maybe you're too much of a sinner, or maybe you're too dirty, or maybe you're too, like, he'll try and plant all of these things into your mind. But you've got to combat that with scripture. You have got to combat that with scripture. And for my Christians out there, in case you don't know, my pastor, Emma Bryant, she has just released, she has a 30-day devotional about being brave. I'll see if I can link these books down below actually. Me and my youth group, we've been going through it. Like all the girls in the youth in my church, we've been doing like the devotional. So that's all of the youth leaders, all of the youth girls. We've just all been doing it together, and it's been really good. And even if you're not Christian, it's just really been really good, even in general, because Emma, she has loads of fundamental principles that will help you become a lot more confident and brave in your life, in your day-to-day life, even if you're not a person of faith. So that can really help as well. And she's just recently come out with a book. It's a tiny book. It's called Pocket Full of Brave. And basically, it's literally like pocket size. You can put it in your purse, you can put it wherever, and it has loads of scriptures inside. Literally every page just has its own scripture. And maybe you're going through something, maybe you're just not having the best day, maybe you just need a bit more encouragement, maybe you just need to feel like, okay, I can do this. She made the book solely for that purpose. You literally whip it out, and immediately you have a scripture. You speak that life over you, you speak the scripture over you, and you declare it, and that's how you combat the lies of the enemy in your mind. And I just also want to say, like, the power of words as well. Words have power. They can either cause life or death, you guys. We've got to be so careful of what words we're saying over ourselves and what words we're speaking over ourselves, and over our own lives, because you never know what you'll actually be putting out there. And also because sometimes you'll be putting things into your subconscious as well that you won't even realize. You keep telling yourself, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Soon enough you will develop that attitude of I can't do this. You will look at things and you'll be like, okay, I can't do this. That will be your immediate referral point. I can't do this. And then now you're gonna have to work 10 times harder just to believe that maybe I can do this. Maybe there is a possibility that I can do this. Not even to get to the point that I can do this, but you're just gonna have, even the fact to actually think, okay, maybe I actually can. It's gonna take you so long to actually get to that point. But know that the words you say to yourself and the things you speak of yourself and the identity you give yourself as well, it is so vital and it is so important, like, because it does, your belief system, it does affect you, it does eventually slip into your identity as well. And that's why it's also so important to know, like, who's speaking over your life as well. Who are you allowing to speak into your life? Who are you allowing to speak over your life? Because if you're having people around you that are speaking only words of discouragement, of death into your life, you don't want that. That is not energy or kind of vibes that we want in our lives. We don't want that. So just tell them respectfully, I don't think you're not really helping me or uplifting me, because I feel like in a good friendship, you guys should really be uplifting and inspiring each other. It doesn't even have to be in the big things, like you sending each other like a little thing every single day. It's just that you know that when you're with your friends, you feel like maybe you can do anything, maybe you feel safe, maybe you feel at peace, maybe you feel at ease, maybe you feel like, you know what, with these people I know I can do anything. If I go to them when I'm feeling discouraged, I know that I will immediately feel like I can do this. Watch the people that you're around, because the people that you're around, it will change you and it will affect you, and you may not even realize it, but once you start to actually see yourself over a long period of time, then you realize, oh, what exactly is going on here? And then you'll start to realize, okay, I think I need to change the company that I'm keeping. Well, hello, you guys. How are we? I hope you're enjoying the show so far. I just wanted to give you guys a really quick reminder of ways that you can help to support the show and get it out there to so many other people about the candid wellness conversations we have here surrounding lifestyle and personal growth. You can either give the show a quick subscribe, rate, and review from whatever platform you're listening on and share with a friend. And if you do want to give to the show financially to help keep it running, there will always be links in my show notes which you can click on, and it will take you to all of the links to all of the podcast social media so you can connect with me, and all of the links to support if you wish to. And thank you so much for all of your support, you guys. It's truly and greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. So yeah, the next heading I have, it says struggling with self-image. And I said, many people grapple with body image and appearance insecurities. These deep rooted issues can significantly impact how we perceive ourselves and how we think others see us. And then the other heading I put, inability to meet everyone's standards. It's challenging to believe in yourself when you're constantly trying to meet everyone else's standards. Focus on your own values and goals rather than trying to live up to others' expectations. Then the next heading I put, not everyone wishes you ill. So like not everyone is out for you. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking everyone is out to get you. In reality, most people are too preoccupied with their own lives to spend time judging others. So try to cultivate more positive thoughts about how others perceive you. And there was just this analogy that I just want to throw out there real quick. That I heard one time. I don't know if I'll do it any justice trying to explain it, but I'll see if I can. So imagine, right, imagine you're in a supermarket and you're thinking, oh my gosh, maybe you've gone out without makeup for one of the first times ever, or maybe you've got like this massive spot on your face, or maybe you're wearing pants that you don't really like, or maybe you're not feeling that confident in yourself, or whatever it is. And now you're in a supermarket, just imagine, and now you're thinking, oh my gosh, everyone's looking at me, oh my gosh, they're judging me, oh my gosh, I feel so bad today, I feel so horrible, I feel so ugly, I don't feel amazing, people are definitely looking at me and judging and looking at me like, but now just imagine nearly every other person in the supermarket is thinking the same thing. So when you think about it, in reality, we're all thinking about others thinking about us. So in reality, we're all thinking about ourselves because we're all thinking about how others are perceiving us. And then you realize, wait a minute. we're all so worried about others judging us, but really we're not even judging each other because we're all too scared about others judging us. And it's like, it's so confusing when you think about it. And that's when you actually realize, yeah, you know what, maybe I'm being a bit too self-centered and thinking about thinking that everyone's thinking about me a bit too much. Or maybe that person is just trying to think, which kind of cabbage do I want to take home from the supermarket today? which milk do I want to take home? And maybe even looking at you whilst you're walking down the street or something, like, or watching you. Maybe they just really like your outfit. And by the way, guys, don't be afraid to give other people compliments. Don't be afraid to tell other people, you know what, your outfit looks good today. Don't be afraid to. There's been so many times where I've like walked down girls past the street and I've seen their outfits and like, her outfit is banging, and it's like I'll actually catch myself, I won't know, but it's like I'm watching her, but I'm mentally screenshotting her outfit and like her outfit is good, but then in her mind she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, why is this girl staring at me, why is she looking at me like that, is my outfit horrible, have I got something on my face? But in my mind I'm thinking, oh my gosh, her outfit, her hair, her makeup, whoa, go girl. Or maybe I'm thinking her bare face is gorgeous. Like, you never know what people are thinking, and just because they have a certain type of facial expression doesn't mean they're judging you. I know some of my friends they've said they do have unapproachable resting faces and I tend to have one sometimes myself, but You know, if you do want to go give someone a compliment, don't be afraid to go give them a compliment. You never know how you could uplift someone's day and how you could positively impact someone's day. Maybe they've not been having a great day, or maybe they've not even had someone compliment them in a while, in a hot minute. And maybe just tell them with a genuine heart, you know what? You look so good today. You have a really nice outfit today. Oh my gosh, you look so good. Like, oh my gosh, I really like your personality. Oh my god. Like, just tell them. Don't be afraid to tell them, because you never know. Maybe you'll even make a friend out of it. You never know how you could impact that person's day and how you could impact someone's life, because that's what we're all about on this side of the internet. It's in the small impacts, the small things. It's not only in the big things, it's in the small impacts. You can make a change in the world every single day with a tiny thing. It doesn't always have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be intense. You don't have to do all these kinds of you don't have to put that kind of pressure on yourself. It can just be even in the tiny things. Maybe even just giving a smile to someone a bit more than like smiling a bit more than you usually would, or just maybe instead of just looking at someone and just looking at them, maybe just say hi, because maybe you guys have wanted to speak. Maybe they've wanted to speak to you for a while and wanted to get to know you, or they've been inspired by you and they've wanted to, but you guys, you've never invited each other into that space to be able to speak with each other like that. But you be courageous and you make that first move. You go ahead and you do it, because why not? Let me move on to the next heading. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I think this episode has become quite long already, but that's okay. I hope you guys are still getting something from it today. I really hope you are, unless maybe it's just me yapping for however long. But yeah, the next heading I put, lack of control over others' perceptions. You can't control how others view or perceive you. What others think about you is their business, not yours. That's literally what I said. Focus on being authentic rather than trying to manage others' opinions. That basically speaks for itself. I will move on to the next heading. I put self-perception versus others' perception. Often our fear of how others see us is more a reflection of how we see ourselves. Work on improving your self-image and self-confidence, and you may find that your concerns about others' perceptions diminish. And I will see if I can do an episode on building confidence and developing confidence at some point soon. I will see if I can. I'll have to remember. If I don't, you guys remind me. I will get round to it. The next one is don't let the past control your future. Ooh, I'm so heavy on this one, you guys. And I put past experiences can shape our fears and insecurities, but it's important not to let them dictate your future. Learn from past experiences, but don't let them hold you back from new opportunities. So yeah, when I was listening to the Try Not to Care podcast, she was like kind of talking about this as well. She was saying that I think she went on like this dance team or something. It was something to do with dance. And most of the people there were like professional dancers, but she's never done like professional dance herself before, and I think some people did like kind of make fun of her or something. I can't exactly remember the story, but maybe I'm just making it make sense with the point I'm trying to make. But yeah, I think she went to do dance, and you could obviously tell she wasn't the most she wasn't the most professional there, wasn't the most skilled, but she wasn't too bad either. But people were judging, of course. And then now when she tries to start something new or try something new, she kind of has that thing in the back of her mind as well. Like she gets a bit of a trigger point when she tries something new, because she's reminded of that and she gets nervous about that. And I feel like that is so true, because even that's happened to me sometimes. I've tried to step into a new a new zone, a new space. I've tried to start something new, try something new for the first time, meet new people, be a bit more braver, be a bit more bold than I usually am. And then maybe I don't exactly get the response from people that I expect, or that I would have liked, or that would have anticipated. And then I allow my confidence to get knocked down, and then I carry that experience with me, and then I allow it to feed into other experiences. But that's a thing that we've got to learn to stop. Just because that thing didn't work out for you then doesn't mean that this thing won't work out for you now, or doesn't mean that it just because you weren't great at that doesn't mean you can't be good at this. You know, we've always got to allow ourselves to walk into new spaces and into new things with a clean slate and with a fresh mind, and we've got to cut ourselves some slack and be a bit more kinder to ourselves. Next heading says negative self-view and its impact. A negative self-view can lead to a tendency to focus on flaws rather than strengths. Try to shift your perspective to a more positive glass half full mentality. And there was actually this Instagram post I saw a couple of days ago. I'll see if I can link it down below. And it was amazing. And it was like, there was a cup that was basically empty, and it basically said on top of it, "Did I do well?" And then there was a cup that was half full right next to it, and it said on top of it, "You did everything you could with the best that you had, that you knew. So yes, and it's okay. I'm proud of you." And I just thought that was so lovely, because I saw this post and it really humbled me, because he was just saying, you've got to forgive everyone in your life. You've got to forgive your past self. You've got to forgive your parents. You've got to forgive your friends, your exes, your ex-friends. You've got to forgive your whatever it is. You've got to forgive, because number one, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Realistically, you are holding on to that perception of, you are holding on to that pain that you don't need to hold on to. And even I've seen those TikToks, it's like, no revenge, no nothing. I just send them love and I just keep it pushing, because everyone is going through something, and hurt people do hurt other people. So rather than putting your energy into going and giving revenge or sending bad stuff their way, just, in fact, because some people do need some love in this life, they do. Maybe they just need to hear "I love you." Maybe they just need to hear "You're special, you're wanted, you're amazing." Maybe they just need to hear those words in their life. And just, no revenge, just send them love and move on. You allow yourself to start healing. You forgive them for what they've done. Just because you're forgiving someone doesn't mean that it's okay. It means that you're releasing them for the transgressions they've committed against you. And you're also freeing yourself from the pain of holding on to that pain, because especially if someone's done something wrong against you, you don't deserve to carry that pain. You don't deserve, especially if that was against your own will. You don't deserve to now start having to carry that extra burden, that extra pain. Let it go. There was even this other reel I saw, and there was this girl, and she just basically said, "It is your life for a reason. Stop living it for other people. No one is thinking of you as much as you think they are. They are all too worried about what other people are going to think of them." And then she put in the comment, she put 3 reminders if you're afraid of judgment / what people will think. She put, number 1, everyone is too busy focusing on their own life and how it looks to be focusing on what your life looks. Yeah, that's what she said. And then number 2, she said, nothing is that personal. How people act, how they perceive you, even the things they say to you has more to do with them than you. Read the 4 agreements. Then number 3, she puts, in 20 years, when you're looking back at your life, will you regret not going for things because of what people thought of you? If so, go for it. And then she went on to say, your life is too precious and has too much potential for you to be living it for anyone other than yourself. What you think of you is always over what someone else thinks of you. Sending love, your potential is limitless once you stop getting in your own way. And I think that's so true, because I even saw there was like this photo, I think I saw it like 4 years ago, and it was like imagine this scenario. Imagine like you're an 80-year-old woman sitting in like on like a porch. You can barely leave your home now, and you're now sitting there reflecting on your life, and you're just thinking about how when you were like 20 or something and you were too insecure to go into the sea and just have some fun with your friends because you thought you didn't look good in that certain swimsuit or bikini or whatever. Like, just scenarios like that. Like, when you put it into the grand perspective of things, you're gonna be looking back someday, and will you be sitting there regretting not doing that because you were fearful or because you were too scared or because you were getting in your own way? You don't want that to be you. So sometimes we need to learn to be a bit more courageous. And maybe if you need other people to encourage you and uplift and inspire you, you reach out to those people. And even if you don't have those people, reach out to me. I'm always here. I always tell you guys, I am always here. Literally throw me a message. Just tell me, hey Joy. Even I literally have a PO box, like a forms. I have 3 forms. You can click if you go into, maybe it's always in the links in my bios, but maybe if you go into my Instagram or just click in the show notes, it's always there. You can click the links and it takes you to all of the information about the show. And I have forms there where you can speak to me, and I will always be getting back with you guys. I will, if you guys give me questions, I will do Q&A episodes. You can guys can send me in topic requests, you can send me in all kinds of things, or maybe if you just need to vent or you just need to chat or you need advice, you can just tell me and just let me know whether you want me to reach out to you specifically, and just maybe put your address, your where I can reach you below, or maybe if you want me to react to it on the respond to it on the show, but I'll just make sure, always make sure it's anonymous. You just let me know, guys. Okay, so yeah, don't be afraid to reach out if you need some uplifting and encouraging, because again, we don't live in this life alone for a reason, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then judging as a reflection of self is the next heading. And I said, when people judge others harshly, it's often a reflection of their own insecurities. Remember that confident, secure people rarely feel the need to tear others down. Guys, that speaks for itself. If someone's going out of their way to come and tear you down and knock you down, you can tell that's not a confident person, because confident people, most likely, if they do see something that they don't rock with, they'll mind their own business. They know everyone's got their own things going on in their life. They're too secure in themselves. And that's the difference. There's a difference between vanity and confidence. Once you're confident, you're too secure in yourself to start even bothering about what other people are doing or start caring about what other people have to say about you. You're just happy to be here. You're happy to be alive. You're just happy to be living a life. You're realizing that you should actually be developing your own life rather than being so overly invested in other people's that you start to allow it to affect you negatively. Someone who is confident will not be actively going out of their way to tear other people down or make their lives miserable or make them sad or whatever. That's not what a confident character will do. And then, yeah, the next heading is confident people don't bring others down. True confidence doesn't involve belittling or hurting others. Confident individuals are secure enough in themselves that they don't need to insert themselves where they don't belong or criticize others unnecessarily. And the last heading is don't be controlled by fear of perception. While it's impossible to predict how others will perceive or react to you, don't let this uncertainty control your actions. Live authentically and pursue your goals, regardless of potential judgments from others. Guys, that's basically all I have to say today. That's literally basically all I have to say. I feel like we've said so much. There's been so much that's been said. I rambled quite a bit. But I hope that you've taken something from this at least. And maybe you'll have that extra courage to go after that goal that you've been wanting to. Maybe you've been inspired to go and encourage someone else. Maybe you've been inspired to go after that thing you've been wanting to do for a long time. Whatever it is. And the same way, I do this podcast because I want to I want to spread that light to other people. How can you spread that light to other people in your own life today? That could be by sharing this show specifically, it could be by sharing this episode or an episode from the show. It could be by maybe telling other people, speaking about it with other people. It could be any kinds, or maybe just even sending a nice, maybe if it's even to someone you haven't spoken to at all, you don't speak to at all, just be like, you know what, I heard this quote and I thought of you. I saw this and I thought of you. That's some people's love language, when someone says, you know what, I saw this and I thought of you. That makes some people feel like so nice inside, like, oh my gosh, they really thought of me, like someone thought of me. So yeah, don't be afraid to uplift and inspire and encourage other people. You never know how far your kindness and your positivity could go, and how far it could inspire other people and encourage other people. So yeah, just want to give you guys lots of love right now, especially for the ones who are still here. If you're still watching, I love you guys, truly, truly, I do. If you're not watching right now, I'm putting like a love heart for you guys. But yeah. But yeah, learn to be fearless. And yeah, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this episode. I hope this episode has really inspired and encouraged you guys. And yeah, just a quick reminder, if you could give the show a really quick rate or review or subscribe or like or comment from wherever you're listening, that would be greatly appreciated. That means you can get the show out to so many other people about the amazing conversations we have here, and loads more people can find out about this really cool side of the internet that we've established. If you follow my Instagram, I'm always active on the Instagram. I'm always posting daily encouragement, daily things, just in case you need some to keep you guys going. And I'm always there. My inbox is always open. Just throw me a message. Yeah, I just really hope that my vision for the show is just that at least even one person would be impacted and would be inspired, because I've started to learn it's not always about the numbers, it's about the impact. And if I have loads of numbers but there's actually very little impact being put out there, I'm not actually doing what I want to do, and I have to ask myself, why am I doing this? But I realize that I'm doing this for the impact, and even though the numbers may not be amazing, or maybe they may not be drastically increasing all the time, there's still there's still seeds being sown, and I can only be forever grateful that God has allowed me to have this platform and to develop this platform and do this with you guys and go on this road and this journey with you guys. And yeah, I'm just being obedient to what he has asked for my life, and I've just decided to take courage and say yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the episode today, you guys. So yeah, I will see you guys. I hope I'll see you guys next Sunday. I think I should do. So yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely, blessed week. Spread some light this week, you guys. I hope you have a lovely week, a lovely restful week if you can. And yeah, look after yourselves, you guys. You matter, you care, you are loved. And yeah, until next time, let's keep aspiring to living a life of more joy with intention. So yeah, I will see you guys, and yeah, that's me out. Bye guys.